comes the judge. Here comes the judge. Everybody look out, cuz here comes the judge. Next on the Lanch Life. Let's get back to this judge. My father's has been cranking out #1, top 5 rated cigars for quite some time now. Following up on their success, in my opinion, with the my father, Le Bijou, is to me the judge. The judge is kind of a spicier, more aggressive version of the My Father Le Bijou. Let's take a look at it right now. This cigar consists of six different tobaccos. First, there is the Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper, Sumatra seed, grown in Ecuador. The binder is a double binder. There is Nicaraguan Corojo and Criollo binder. And the filler comes from 3 different farms in Nicaragua. So you've probably heard me use the term region and microregion. Well, this is an example of microregions. The 3 farms are La Bonita 2, El Pedrero, and San Rafael. So these are 3 different farms that produce tobacco for the filler. So you've got 3 in the filler, 2 in the binder, and 1 wrapper. So when you think about a blend, that is a blend. And so you can expect to get some complexities out of that. What they say you're going to get is leather and spice. What I got, because this is not my first trip around the block with the judge, what I got is leather, beefy, chewy leather, think steak with A1 sauce on. Like that to me kind of encapsulates the flavors that I get from this. So I'm gonna cook this joint, I'm gonna light it up, and we're gonna talk some more about this thing. I have to recognize that many of you are too young to remember Flip Wilson. Flip Wilson was a comedian back in the 60s and 70s that was able to have one of the first African-American comedy variety shows, like one of the first ever. I think he had a comedy variety show even before Richard Pryor had one, because Richard Pryor was just too crazy and unpredictable. They could not let that dude have a comedy show. He was famous not just for the guests and all that he was able to get A-list actors and singers in Hollywood at the time, but because of some of the personalities he had. So one was Reverend Leroy. He played a recurring character, the same way Eddie Murphy played Gumby. He had a couple of recurring characters. One of them was Reverend Leroy from the Church of What's Happening Now. He cross-dressed and played a sassy, fresh African-American woman named Geraldine Jones, and who had a boyfriend named Killer. And Killer was always in trouble somewhere. We never saw Killer. It was never an episode where we saw Killer, of course. But the other character he would play was the judge. And that song that I sang in the beginning was one of the things that they used to play before he used to come out. butchered the light, folks. My bad. Look at that. That's why you're not supposed to try to drive and do anything else at the same time. You just screw something up. Rather screw up the cigar than the driving. This cigar has been aging in my box for months. I suggest you do that to cigars. Get yourself a humidor. You know, I'll do a video on how to prep it right, or you can find plenty of videos on how to do that. Get your cigars in there. And if you get a cigar that you don't like, that the whole world thinks is great and fantastic, and you get it and you're like, I'm not impressed, try aging that cigar and then try it again and see what happens. I recently did the Tatuaje Avion 13, and I was told and read one thing about this cigar, and when I smoked it, I got something totally different, and right now, one of the top 5 cigars I smoked this year. It might have been an ordinary, it turned into an extraordinary cigar because it's been sitting in my box and aging. So, just encouraging you to try that. I'm going to have trouble with this ash because I screwed it up. I'm going to try to touch it up real quick here and see what we can do. But I'm in trouble. Okay, My Father Cigars, Garcia family, Nicaragua, multiple top 25 cigars, legendary in the modern cigar era. I didn't do research on the history, and I have a bad memory, so that's what you get on Garcia. Get into this cigar, good and spicy, very earthy. In the early stages, I'm getting a little bit of that, maybe a minerally thing, not sour, but it's dark cocoa. Definitely not coffee. This to me has got that initial dark cocoa. It's right in that medium to full range, and it's going to be throughout. It's not going to have, to me, any sweetness at all, based upon my memory of the first one that I've smoked, and some that I've smoked since. I think I've smoked around 4 or 5 of these. I had my first judge back in Indianapolis last summer, about the time they came out at Blend Cigar Bar. Sometime this summer, I'm going to shoot a video from inside that place. It's magnificent. Wasn't there when I lived in Indianapolis. Wish it were. Maybe it's a good thing it wasn't, because I'd have dropped a lot of coin in that place if I lived that close to a spot like that. Look at that. Almost a self-correcting burn, even though the idiot behind it butchered it. Take a look at this label and the craftsmanship. It's funny. Yesterday I shot a video that you should see on counterfeit Cuban Cohiba labels. Look at how great the detail is in a label like this. Craftsmanship in labels, to me, says something about the cigar company and some expectation of what you should get in a cigar. Sometimes simple is best, but the artwork and graphic and the design on this is really, really gorgeous. So when you get a Cuban cigar that's got spots and blemishes, and they're trying to keep their stuff from being counterfeits from being sold, trust me, you see a label with a single flaw on it that claims to be Cuban, it's a fake. It's a fake. Sorry. This cigar draws nice and easy. The spice in this is pepper. I've told you before, when you get spice, you want to know whether it's cookie spice, cooking spice, or spice from pepper. This spice is a little pepper. Still, good salivation, so to me that represents balance, despite how dry you would think these flavors are when you talk about beef and leather. I'm getting good salivation, so the blend of tobaccos is hitting all the right aspects of the tongue to keep you from drying out, but not make me want to, you know, spit out the window every 5 seconds. These cigars come in 2 sizes. I'm going to cheat. The sizes are a 6x56 and a 5x60. And good, solid smoke. Won't warm up your pockets. You can get these for under $10, about 9 or 8, which to me is kind of that right range for a cigar. Close enough for an everyday smoke. When you think about people spending $10 for a pack of cigarettes, if you spend $8 and they go through a pack of cigarettes a day, if you get a cigar a day for somewhere in the $6 to $9 range and you smoke a cigar a day, which is about right for me, then it's me doing my math. That's an everyday cigar. You do your own math, but for my math, that makes this kind of an everyday cigar. Again, even though I butchered it, nice tight ash. Like I said, it's almost self-correcting. Like if you get a cigar that's bound and wrapped right, you can screw it up and it'll come back. Look at that. It's not pluming, which means it's just well put together cigar. The Flip Wilson Variety Show, I think, lasted for 4 or 5 years. When you consider between 16 to 22 episodes a year, which is what they did back in those days, not like TV series of the day. It's on for 2 months and then you gotta wait, you know, a whole year to see your favorite show again. That's a pretty good run. And again, especially when you think about the times, the 70s, Vietnam War going on, a lot of protests, and you got an African American standing up there doing comedy. It was brilliantly done, brilliantly written, and very well supported. Just wanted to make that light. Anyway, great show, great personalities, great cigar. I already know what I'm going to get. You're going to get that beef, you're going to get that A1 steak sauce twang. That's what it is. Good flavors, well balanced. Again, still not drying me out, still not causing me to want to, you know, spit out the window. Ash is correcting itself real nice. There's not much else to say. I mean, it's just a good cigar. That's all I got. So, the other reason why I know I can finish here, it's not going to change much. It's one of the things, some cigars, you're going to get a lot of twists and turns and the change in the flavor profile as you go throughout. Some are going to stay fairly consistent. Now, when they do really rapid, funky, spunky changes, I write about it. But if it doesn't, it is what it is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. So I have nothing to say. Go out, meet the judge. I'm Charles Kelly. and I'm living the Lancer life. Peace and a bucket of grease.